take away the 3 biggest runs, it's a different game. Like, it's like you fighting someone in boxing and you're like, well, if you didn't land that right hook, I probably wouldn't have knocked out. Like, it is what it is. That was last year. And I'm excited for the challenge this year.
You guys have made it clear that you don't want to be known as the defending champs and this is a new year and all that. Do you think opposing teams look differently at that? I mean, when you were going up against, when you were the Giants and going maybe up against Super Bowl champs or anybody that accomplished some things, was there some extra motivation when you went against a team that was known for being really good?
Yeah. I don't think, the defending champs thing is not a real thing. Like, it doesn't carry over in football. I think I gave an analogy before, like maybe like it works for boxing. But we know no matter what that even before I got here, this team's been super successful for a very long time. And obviously we had the year that we had last year that we're going to get everybody's best. Whether it's in a regular game, even in joint practices, we see teams do different stuff. But that's the beauty of, being on a team like this with so many weapons that we have, that a lot of teams got to, go outside themselves to stop us. And we know that, and we just got to figure it out and continue to win games. And we've done a good job so far.
They presented the most 8-man boxes to you guys last year. What are the challenges of facing that? How excited do you get when you potentially see, like, oh, okay, there's 8 defenders in the box?
Yeah, I mean, when there's 8 in the box or a loaded box that you get through that first line of defense, it's finito. So that's always exciting. But, you got to just continue to stay within your details and your fundamentals and let all that stuff happen. Not going out there trying to force stuff. But the important stuff for that is watching film, getting a beat on them, seeing what they did to tackle before, being ready for the unknown or what they're going to try again. But most importantly, winning a game.
Kevin was saying.
What was that mixed message to you guys? It seems like every week you have whether it's a theme or a strong message. What was the message to you guys this week?
Biggest thing this week, I would say I took from his message is that, a lot of people get caught up in stats. But what's your assist? In football, you don't really have an assist category. Basketball, the point guard could pass it to Shaq and he could dunk it. And, you know that he's the one that passing the ball. But the showing plays of me running down the field and seeing how a Smitty or AJ is blocking or Jahan's running off the block or how the O-line is doing this. And the common theme always comes back to that it takes a team. And just continue to fall in love with that. Doing whatever it takes to help each other be great and win the ball game.
When you see things like that, where maybe you see on a play you weren't aware, maybe you weren't aware that you helped the guy score, does that kind of motivate you for the next game or moving forward to make sure you're doing those things?
Yeah, of course. It's how, as a running back, a lot of my running back coaches I've had since college and especially now, it's easy to be great with the ball in your hand. How great you can be without the ball in your hand, whether that's passing, pass blocking, catching the ball. Obviously not catching the ball because the ball will be in your hand. But like running off fakes, bringing attention to you. And I think that comes part of it. Everyone gets caught up in the games when you have the big numbers, but you still got to have an impact in other ways. And definitely, I definitely buy into that.
Kevin was saying that he sees on tape that you guys are close to hitting a big one. Do you see that, and how does it show it?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely close. But, like, again, it's week 2. It's week 3 now. I actually probably would be a little concerned if everything was firing, at 100% and everything was going perfectly fine. Like, that's not football. That's not how it works. There's development within the season. No matter if you have a lot of the same guys, it's a different team, obviously a different play caller. But the beauty of that is not getting caught up in the BS that's outside this building and just focusing on us and knowing that, trusting the process and the things are going to come together and we're going to have the performances that we would like to have. But most importantly, just continue winning football games. So, yes, I see that we're close, and that's a beautiful thing, but each week is its own week. We have a new opponent every time, so focusing on how the Rams going to present different challenges than us rather than what the Cowboys or the Chiefs did, And when they give us those challenges, make sure that we lock in and be detailed and make them pay for it.
How much pride do you take in a game where you do kind of have to grind it out a little bit and the chunks aren't coming in bunches?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, I'd rather 5 carries for 200 yards and 5 touchdowns. But the ones you got to work for, that's kind of how life works, and that's kind of how football is. We play in the National Football League. It's a hard league. We're going against a lot of talent and a lot of great teams, a lot of great coaches. So that's why you train the way you train, to be able to come up in those moments and be able to play in those type of games that you got grinded out and find ways.
Landon reminded us this week of how you guys started last season and going into the bye week 2-2 and look at the results. You just talked about how you don't want it to click right now. What do you mean by that? Like, if you were firing on all cylinders on offense, what would that say?
Yeah, I mean, what I mean by that, like, obviously you want to be 2-0 rather than 0-2. Yeah. But, like, it's not supposed to be perfect. You go into week 1, you game plan all camp long, and then you really don't know what you're going to get. And then you go against a team in week 2 that we're familiar with and played a lot, and then you get 15 cover 0 blitzes. Like, each week is going to present different challenges. In the beginning of the season, we got to get a flow. We got to get, last year we had a run, I think probably our most explosive runs were in gap scheme related. And that was the thing that was hitting for us. And right now, that's not the thing that's hitting for us. We might be more of an outside zone team. We might be a more tight zone team. Jalen getting to the flow of things with AJ and Smitty. All that is going to come together at some point. And the thing that matters in the beginning of the season is making sure you win football games. And it always matters to make sure you win football games, but when you win, it's a lot easier to learn and develop and gain that confidence for the ultimate goal.
Within what you said, when you and Jalen have both split out, you play off of each other. Right? Sorry about that.
Bro!
Kevin has said that him and Russell is in there. Kevin using it like within the first 2 weeks. What have you seen kind of getting the run game going in the absence of that?
Just getting into a flow. Get into a rhythm for myself with the guys up front. And I honestly, I felt like if you go and watch last week, we started getting back into that. I forget the second part. I don't know if you asked about Jalen and the run game.
Yeah.
But stuff like that. We got to bring stuff like that into it because he's a threat, and especially a team like this where we know he's a threat. He took one for 60 or 70 and got him in the playoffs. That helps open things up. But the way you just continue, it's like everything. You just got to work on it, continue to work on it, and at some point we know it's going to strike, and hopefully sooner rather than later.
Do you expect kind of the Rams to change things up the way they last year, obviously, with all the success you had against them? And if so, like, how do you go about feeling out what they're doing differently during the course of the game?
You just go by the feel of it, seeing what they're doing, seeing what they're presenting. Do I think they're going to do anything different? I don't know. Apparently, they think we only hit them for 3 big ones, so maybe not. Maybe we just got to go back and watch the playoff game, and it's exactly what they're going to do. But whatever they do, like, I hate to say this and sound arrogant, but it's really about us. And, that's something that I try to make sure, to harp to the guys, like, yes, we got to handle unknown. We got to worry about what they're going to do to us, how they're going to try to stop the run, how they're going to try to stop AJ and Smitty and this and that third. But in reality, like, when we're all on the same page, we're a hard team to stop. And if we go out there and continue to play with that confidence and get back to that mindset that doesn't matter what they do, call it and block it all right, or call it and execute it right, we're gonna be okay.
On a different topic, what's your involvement in the Flag Football League in Saudi Arabia?
Really don't know too much about it yet.
Okay.
I do know I got a DM from Tom Brady saying, "Can I get a call?" And I said, "Of course." Tom asked me about playing in a flag football game. That's in April. First thing I said to Tom, said I would love to, but I plan on playing really long, so I can give you a better answer on how my body feels after the season. But yeah, I think it's a cool experience, cool event, but definitely got to figure out some things, make sure it's okay with Howie and Nick and Rory and all those, because definitely don't want to jeopardize anything. But I'm all about, and I've been vocal about it, of growing the game and growing the brand in the game. So if that does come into play, I'm super excited about that.
We all saw them mic'd up with Jalen, given the fact that Chris Jones a little bit. It's a side of him we don't see very often. Is it something that you see from him on the field more than we do?
I wouldn't say Jalen really talked too much stuff. Nah. I don't really would even say that's like talking shit, I guess you can say. I don't know why I didn't want to say that, but like I'm grown as hell. Like, I can't get fined for saying that, right? Oh yeah.
Cable.
Yeah, right. Like that was just like, what are we talking about here? Like he was saying the same thing to me too. Like he was like, you haven't run against 100 yards against me yet, and I'm like, you're down. Like what are you like? I don't know. That's another conversation, but he does have that. Jalen does have that competitive side to him, that dog, and then that I think it shows. But yeah, it's cool to see that because like I think that's a good clip for any young athlete that follows, a guy like Jalen, a guy like myself, or a guy like AJ. It's like Chris, much respect for him, hell of a player, Hall of Fame caliber player. But like at the end of the day, only thing that matters is winning football. So like, what are we talking about?
You're close to Daniel.
Last one.
How
Daniel
cool
Jones. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's my dog.
Yeah. How close?
My dog.
How cool is it to see him do what he's doing?
I got a FaceTime him. He texted me, said I never answer my phone calls. I FaceTime him after the game. I'm excited. That's outside of the Philadelphia Eagles and myself. I want no one else to perform at a high level, and besides Daniel Jones. And the fact that he's off to a hot start, obviously we both know it's the beginning of the season. Like I said, so when we're week 2, got to keep going. But following up with him throughout camp and battling with AR over there, and was super excited for him to win that starting job and to go out there now and play a high level and get to show people the player that I know and the person that I know with Daniel. And I'm a big believer in anything. It might not happen in football, but the way he carries himself and the way that he works and the way that he competes, it's going to show at some point. And I'm happy that's starting to show right now and wish him nothing but the best of luck.